Hi, I'm Caden,
I'm Morgan.
and we're with Film Critics Circle, and today we will be discussing everything, everywhere, all at once.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all of their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be your only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
Wow, that was really good.
He's waiting in the wings.
The
He
universe
speaks of senseless things.
is so much bigger
Script is you and
than you realize.
Of all the places I could be, I just want to be here with you.
Remember our mission. Consider the fate of every single world of our infinite multiverse.
There is no way I am the Evelyn you are looking for.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led you here. To this moment. Don't let anything distract you from it.
This movie is Asian American Central. It has a majority Asian American cast. The protagonist, Evelyn, she oversees a laundromat with her husband, Wayman. Their daughter, Joy, is in college and is a lesbian. She has a new girlfriend named Becky. And we get to understand their story, how their life works. And they go through a lot of multiversal chaos.
Yeah, it shows you different points of views and like how traumatic experiences can actually affect like more than just one person in the family. Because if you remember, Evelyn, she when she got with her husband, he like they ran away from the grandfather, and the grandfather he just let her go. So like that always stuck with her, and like she didn't mean to, but she started acting that way towards her daughter, which her daughter was rebellious because it didn't make sense to her why her mother would like want her to change, because her mother wanted her to fit the norms. And if she didn't, she would just let her go.
And it's funny you bring up the concept of generational trauma, because Evelyn couldn't understand why her father had such high expectations for her, and in turn she sort of put those expectations on her daughter, Joy. I can't say I know much about Asian American households, but they're very strict, or I would believe that they're very strict.
They're portrayed as very
strict, yes. And Joy wanted to break out of that cycle. And going further into the plot of the movie, multiversal chaos, I mean we go into the multiverse. We stretch out over multiple timelines, multiple events. If you've heard of the butterfly effect, one event or a change in one event could possibly affect another event. So, or I guess the entire course of someone's life. And Evelyn, there were many scenarios in which Evelyn did not end up with Wayman. She became a singer.
Yeah.
A chef. In one of the scenarios, she was little and was running with sticks in her hands, and she poked her eyes out, and she ended up becoming a blind musician. She had great vocals. She was a movie star in another, which was kind of clever to me.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like they were trying to, let me not get too off topic, but they were trying to incorporate like there's infinite possibilities for somebody. In one world, you can be one thing, but in another dimension, you might be a different. Like, we shouldn't assume like all these we should always assume these possibilities. But again, let me ask you a question about this movie, right?
Okay.
Wouldn't you say Joy and Evelyn really are the same compared to traumatic experience? Or would you want to differentiate them? Because when we think about it, right? Cultural norms, getting back on cultural norms. Joy's father was like, even when she still took care of him, right? And like the madness of her household when she was like going through tax problems and stuff.
You mean Evelyn?
Yeah, Evelyn. Sorry. You really seen her depressed. She couldn't really fathom like what was going on because her family needed something. Like, she was pleased with making people happy. Like, she wasn't whole. She wasn't like free. She was chained by the rules of society in the household, which shows like how mothers are really like working hard even if we don't see it, right? But Evelyn, even though she's rebellious and like she does her own thing, she, like, you could say in a way, couldn't you say in a way that she wanted her mother's approval, or like her mother to like be proud of her?
That Joy wanted her mother's approval?
Yeah, Joy.
I would say so. She was, in the beginning of the movie, she was very hesitant to show her girlfriend Becky to her mother because she knew about the grandfather coming over, and it was very hectic in their house at that time. So she was hesitant to introduce Becky, but she also wanted that acceptance from her mother because she knew that she was different and attracted to different things, or to different people than what her family normalizes.
Yeah.
So I would say that, yeah, Joy wanted her mother's approval.
And another thing about this movie, it shows like, besides infinite possibilities, besides cultural norms, I ain't gonna lie, like there's lots of like memes and stuff showing like, I ain't gonna lie, like the movie shows a lot of the stuff we take for granted, and like stuff like we create can like backfire on us. Cause when she got with her husband, when we had the flashbacks, she thought everything was gonna be perfect. Her husband, like, he was over here saying he didn't care if they're broke or anything. He just wanted to be with her, right? Mm. He would take the struggle over being alone because he loved her, right? It shows like, in a way, that we really take too many things for granted, because all these things like we took for granted all came back. Like, all the things she took for granted came back onto her. When she was about to give herself to the everything bagel, she went into that world, and she seen that like she was getting divorced. She was about to get her stuff sold by the IRS.
Or like her laundromat condemned.
Yeah. She was finna lose her apartment. Mm-hmm. She was finna lose everything. And like her husband, he was like always looking at the positive. Like he really broke down inside.
Yeah. Because something we forgot to mention, because you brought up the everything bagel. The movie's central premise is, yes, we're hopping through multiverses, yes, but Joy, in one of these universes, her mother pushed her too far and she became all-knowing, all-seeing, and she could interact with every single universe all at the same time. Yeah. Which is kind of where the title gets at, because in the beginning we're starting to understand everything, how the multiversal travel works, how their abilities can, because in one reality when she was a singer she had great lung capacity, so when she was being attacked by other multiversal enemies she was able to hold her breath and like in combat and everything else like that.
Warrior. Oh my god. The dumb martial arts.
I forgot about that. No. And then when we get to part 2, Everywhere, she realizes that in order to defeat Joy, or I guess the all-powerful, all-knowing Joy, that she didn't really understand yet, in order to understand her fully, she had to be everywhere, to experience and know everything. Which stems to the scene that you're talking about, them in this altar, like churchy place with the everything bagel, and Joy essentially put all of her doubts, all of her worries, but also all of her happiness, all of her emotions, into the bagel, and it created like a black hole.
Yeah, it created a black hole.
Or like a vortex.
Yeah, it was a vortex that's supposed to kill all your cells. Like it basically takes you out of existence. Mm-hmm. And getting on the topic of that, we gotta realize Joy just wanted to die. At the end of the day, Joy was depressed. Like suicide was her main goal, because she wanted to die with her mother. Mm-hmm. She was over here explaining, even I don't know if we could truly die, but I want to just go into the bagel and like try to at least.
And then that also stems into her wanting that connection with her mother. Yeah. Because her wanting her mother to experience and understand everything she understands, so she doesn't feel any more alone. I guess it ties into the purpose of why she put everything into that bagel. She was feeling everything, experiencing everything all at the same time. Yeah. And she wanted to feel nothing, but also to be herself again. Yeah. So when Evelyn was able to hear, experience, see everything, and interact with everything, Evelyn didn't understand why Joy felt that way. She didn't understand the consequences of experiencing everything all at once. It takes the joy, it takes the fun, it takes everything good, not just everything bad, but everything good out of a good moment.
And it just makes you realize like everything is pointless. Like
Joy came to that conclusion.
She came to that conclusion, like there'll infinitely be sadness, there'll infinitely be happiness, there will infinitely be emotion for like something that happens, and like there's nothing to care about.
Yeah, when you experience everything, when you see everything, then does anything matter? Yeah. Which, honestly, I think it helps the movie. Because what I got from it, my main takeaway from it was, if everything doesn't matter, then technically everything does matter. Yeah. Because if I don't go to sleep tonight, then I'll wake up tomorrow feeling bad. But if I do go to sleep, then I'll wake up feeling good. Yeah. So you could say that sleep doesn't matter. But it does, because it would affect my mood. It would affect how I operate.
The thing is, like, also, Evelyn, when she realized this, like, the tax lady, they also realized, like, when she was talking to her, she got divorced too. Like, she was going through the same problems that she went through. But What's I saying? Evelyn, when she went and talked to the tax lady, she was over here. She reminisced with her. She understood like they're gonna be like she's not the only one in the world. When they were in the multiverse where they had hot dog fingers,
Yeah.
She realized like that could be her best friend. Like there's a possibility where like she can be like close with this woman because this woman could help her cope with stuff she goes through. But the main takeaway you was talking about was what was it again?
That since everything doesn't matter,
It matters,
does matter.
Yeah. It was shown through Evelyn because even though in multiple realities she was getting unhappy and like depression started to kick in, like it didn't like she should just focus on her in that reality and her happiness because her happiness will cause her to want to live compared to her going into like all these universes experiencing everything. When you experience everything, you're not gonna have nothing and you're just gonna not care for everything.
And then I guess too that she was also overwhelmed by the possibility of having a quote unquote better life without her daughter, without Wayman, her husband, without her father, the grandfather constantly on her back. Because there were universes where she did stay with her grandfather and left Wayman, and she may have been happier, but she wasn't complete. And she realized that being able to stay in the present, in the now, with those around you that love you, that she was able to feel the most joy and finally understand what was important to her and why.
And that's what I was gonna get into, like her breaking out of her cultural norm, because if you remember towards the end, her grandfather, she took her daughter and said, "Yeah, this is my daughter. She is a lesbian.
This is her girlfriend.
This is her girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, how could like she was telling him, yes, she will be different, but I still love her for that.
Yeah, and you have to accept that.
Yeah, and then when he talked to her, she realized like it wasn't only like he wanted to let her go. He didn't want to let her go, but like in a way he had to because he was stuck in his ways and his reality of doing family where it has to be perfect. No, you can't be gay. You can't be rebellious. You can't do whatever you want.
Right.
You have to listen to your family, do what your family says, and just become a doctor or become successful. She really seen that he was just stuck in his ways because the way he grew up was different from the way she grew up, and the way he reacted to it. She realized she was doing that, so she had to stop herself.
Would y'all recommend the movie?
I would.
Like you would
18 or old, I would recommend it, but 18 or older viewers because there's a lot of.
It does get a little explicit, but other than that, the movie it's a beautiful tale of Asian American family overcoming the hardships that come with immigrating to America.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful family tale.
It also it shows how, in case of all odds, and going against all odds, you know how America is, even though they say it's a dream nation, it's you still have to pay taxes, you still have to do this and that, and if you don't, it becomes a bigger problem because the government will go down your back. It just shows you can overcome it. Don't look down on yourself, because if you do, it's gonna be you're going to start to feel how Joy felt, or how Evelyn felt, the depression and suicidal tendencies and thoughts.
But I guess their pain more so stemmed from the fact that their families weren't listening to them.
Yeah, their families were
that was more so. But I kind of agree with what you're saying, that immigrants have I would say that immigrants have a rougher time actually finding their way in America because of all the hardships and the setbacks and everything that they have to do in order to just live here. So yeah, I would recommend this movie to a lot of people. I have recommended this movie to many of my friends because I feel like words alone can't describe how good of a movie this is, and it deserves so much more recognition.
It really does.
Even if it is a blockbuster film.
It is a blockbuster film, but I feel like recommending it to people will expand these ideas, and like people will get more of a knowledge and an understanding of like another household. Because usually in other movies we see like a white hero or like a ideal American hero, but they won't show you like the other side half the time.
Right.
And then this movie also, like, it also just creates, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm still the fact of my favorite scene with the security guards. But this movie, like, it introduces the ideas. It doesn't introduce, but it shows us the ideas of the memes. Like, it was just like something funny. It adds every type of element, jokes, but seriousness. I dream country, but like you being from outside it, you going through like adult problems, like you running your own business. Because most people think running your own business is sweet until like you have to actually face the problems of running your own business. This is the Film Critics Circle. I'm Kaden.
I'm Morgan.
And we'll see y'all later.